The smell of burnt coffee clings to my hair like smoke after a house fire. I've been on my feet for 9 hours straight, and my shoes are wet from something sticky I don't even want to identify. My Namatag Lena is crooked, half peeling off, like it's given up before I did. The diner is nearly empty. A couple of truckers in booth 12. A drunk couple arguing softly over fries. Neon lights flicker against the windows, buzzing like mosquitoes. The AC is either broken or just sadistic, blasting cold air right at my neck so hard my skin feels crispy. I'm trying to count my tips, but my hands won't stop shaking. Crumpled ones, greasy fives, a single 10 that feels like a miracle. I stack them neatly, then unstack, then stack them again. My vision blurs for a moment, not from tears, just exhaustion pressing down on my brain like someone's palm. Noah should be asleep by now. Mrs. Henderson, my upstairs neighbor, is watching him. She pretends she doesn't like kids but always slips him cookies. I texted her an hour ago. Almost done. Another 30 minutes. She sent back a thumbs up emoji. My phone vibrates again. I expect Mrs. Henderson, but it's not her. It's the hospital. I freeze. I don't answer immediately. For one horrifying second, I just stare at the screen as if the call itself might disappear if I ignore it. But it keeps ringing. Louder. Longer. I swipe to accept. Hello? Is this the mother of Noah Brooks? A voice. Too calm. Too professional. A tone I recognize from every medical drama I've watched but never wanted to hear in real life. My throat closes. Yes, is he? He's stable, but we need you to come in. His fever spiked. The medication isn't responding the way we hoped. Stable, but... Words that slice both ways.
I don't even remember grabbing my bag or yelling to my manager that I'm leaving.
Or ignoring him when he yelled back something about shifts and schedules. I run out the back door into the cold night, apron still on, tips stuffed somewhere in my pocket like useless confetti. I'm halfway down the alley when my lungs start burning, not from running, from panic. What if this is the night it all goes wrong? What if I'm too late? What if I can't think? I can't breathe. My fingers are numb as I fumble for my phone again. There's one contact I swore I'd never call. But I'm calling her. Vanessa. It rings twice before she answers. A click. A breath. Then her voice, smooth, sharp, perfectly composed like she's in the middle of a board meeting instead of her fancy penthouse living room. Lena, it's late. She says it like an accusation. Like I'm already inconveniencing her. My voice breaks, humiliatingly small. I force it back into shape. Noah's in the hospital. I'm on my way there now. They said his fever, it's not going down.
A pause, not shocked, not scared, just assessing.
Like I'm a case file. So? She says finally. I stop walking.
For a second, I actually think I misheard her. So, I need help.
My voice shakes. I don't have enough for the new meds.
They're not covered by insurance. She exhales sharply.
Not sympathy.
Annoyance. Lena, we've talked about this. You made your choices.
You decided to be a single mother. He didn't decide to get sick, I snap. My voice rises without permission. I'm not asking for a vacation. I'm asking you to help me save your nephew. Silence. Then, colder than before. I didn't ask you to have a baby you couldn't afford. I close my eyes. Her words hit harder than any slap. I press a hand to my chest because it physically hurts. Vanessa.
Please, I don't even recognize my own voice anymore.
You're literally the only person I can call. And that's the problem. She says it like a judge delivering a sentence. You always expect people to clean up your messes. Actions have consequences. Maybe this is what it takes for you to finally grow up. Something hot flares through me. Rage, shame, grief, all tangled. Are you saying you won't help unless my child? I'm saying, she interrupts, her tone so icy it burns, that maybe if you can't take care of a kid, you shouldn't have had one. My vision goes white.
For a full 5 seconds, I forget how to speak. Forget how to breathe, forget everything except this.
My sister. My only family just implied the world would be better if my son didn't exist. I don't remember hanging up.
I just know the call ends. And suddenly I'm standing in the middle of the alley behind the diner with my knees shaking so hard I have to lean against the wall. A noise escapes my throat. Not a cry, not a scream.
Something in between. A wounded animal sound. Something primal. Tears blur the neon lights, but I don't wipe them.
They just fall. Hot, heavy, relentless.
I slide down the brick wall until I'm sitting on the cold ground, apron stained, hands over my face.
For a moment, I let it consume me. The fear, the anger,
the betrayal. I press my forehead to my knees and whisper into the darkness. Why am I always alone? Footsteps crunch on gravel. I tense. A familiar voice, rough, unimpressed. Are you dying or just being dramatic? I lift my head. Marisol. Our kitchen queen. 8 tattoos, 0 patience. She stands over me, arms crossed, holding a trash bag. She squints at my tear-soaked face. Then sighs. Get up, she says. Crying never saved a kid. Her words slap harder than my sister's.
Not because they're cruel, because they're true. I blink up at her, mascara burning into my eyes. I'm not.
Oh, please, she cuts in, tossing the trash bag into the dumpster. You are. But whatever. I'm not your therapist. She pauses, studies me. Not with pity. With evaluation. What happened? I don't want to answer.
I don't want her to see me like this. We're not friends.
We barely tolerate each other. She once yelled at me for forgetting to refill the ketchup bottles. But the words fall out anyway. Hoarse. Small. My son! He's in the hospital. Fever. They said he's not responding to treatment. Marisol doesn't react. No gasp. No, oh my God. Just silence. Then, and? I stare at her. What do you mean, and? She squats down in front of me, face level with mine. Her eyes aren't soft. They're steady. And what are you doing sitting on the ground like some helpless extra in a soap opera when your kid needs you upright? I flinch. I want to hate her for it. But I can't. Because she's right. Because Vanessa tore me down just to leave me collapsed, and Marisol of all people is refusing to let me stay there. I called my sister, I whisper. She said maybe I shouldn't have had a kid if I can't afford one. A flicker of disgust crosses Marisol's face. She doesn't say sorry. She doesn't say that's awful. She just mutters. Sounds like she needs a chair thrown at her. A laugh bursts out of me. A broken one. But still. It's the first sound that isn't pain. Marisol stands and extends a hand. It's rough. Calloused. Strong. Get up, she repeats. You've got a kid to fight for, and I've got a car. I hesitate only a second before I grab her hand. Her grip is steady. Solid. Real. She hauls me up like I weigh nothing. We don't speak much on the drive. Her old Honda smells like lemons and smoke. The radio plays 90s rock too quietly to identify. My hands won't stop trembling, so I press them between my knees. At a red light, she glances at me. You gonna fall apart when we get there? I don't know. Wrong answer. I look at her. She doesn't take her eyes off the road. You're allowed to break down, she says. Just not in front of him. My chest tightens. Because that's exactly what I needed someone to say. When we walk into the hospital, I expect them to stop me. To tell me I'm too late. To give me that look doctors give when they're about to speak softly. But Noah's still there. Still breathing. Still fighting. His little body looks so fragile under the white sheet that my knees buckle. But I don't fall. Marisol's hand presses into my shoulder. Firm. I take a shaky breath and approach the bed. No, baby. Mama's here. His eyelids flutter. His voice is barely audible. Mama!
And just like that, everything inside me rearranges. Every wound, every scar, every doubt. They all fall away beneath one truth. I don't have time to be weak anymore. I sit beside his bed, hands hovering inches above his blanket because I'm afraid to touch him too hard, afraid he'll break. His skin is warm, too warm, cheeks flushed red like he's been running even though he hasn't moved in hours. Hey, buddy. My voice cracks. I force it steady. You scared me. His tiny fingers flex, searching, and I offer him mine. He curls around them weakly. Don't cry, he whispers. It's barely sound, more breath than voice. The words slice straight through me. I want to crumble, sink to the floor, apologize for every failure I've ever made. But I don't, because he doesn't need apologies. He needs security. I'm not crying, I lie. I'm just mad. His eyes, half open, squint. At me? No. My throat burns. At the world. A silence settles between us. Heavy, but not suffocating. A nurse walks in, kind smile, clipboard, soft voice. She checks vitals. Gives an update. Fever high, but stable. Flu complications. Possible overnight stay. We just need him to respond. I cling to that word. When she leaves, I glance back at Marisol. She's leaning against the wall, arms folded, pretending she's bored. But her eyes aren't bored. They're watchful, grounding. She says nothing, but I know what she's thinking. Stay focused. Stay upright. I turn back to Noah. I stroke his forehead gently. And in that fluorescent lit room that smells like antiseptic and fear, something inside me clicks. A switch. A vow. No more collapsing. Not where he can see. Not ever again. Hours blur. Paperwork, doctors. Cold coffee from a vending machine that tastes like burnt pennies. Marisol argues with a nurse about visitor limitations and somehow wins. At one point, she drops into the plastic chair beside me and mutters, "Your sister's a bitch." I let out a shaky laugh. Understatement. She nods. Good, you know it. Some people defend their abusers. I grip the coffee cup tighter. She wasn't always like this. Marisol snorts. She was. You just didn't want to see it. Her bluntness hits like a slap, but not the cruel kind. The wake-up kind. I stare at Noah. His breathing is steadier now. My heartbeat follows. I can't keep living like this, I whisper. Marisol doesn't look at me when she answers. So don't. The night drags on, but it doesn't consume me the way it used to. Because I'm not alone. Because I've tasted rock bottom and realized there's no power in staying there. At 4 a.m., I sneak into the hallway to splash water on my face. My reflection in the bathroom mirror looks foreign. Sunken eyes. Red nose. Hair stuck to my cheeks. But under all that, steel. Not loud, not dramatic. Quiet. Heavy. Unbreakable. Walking back, I pass a vending machine. My phone buzzes. Vanessa. One new message. Did you get everything handled? As if she helped. As if she cares. As if she wasn't the one who pushed me into the dirt. I stare at the screen. My finger hovers over reply. But I don't type anger. I don't type forgiveness either. I don't type anything at all. I simply block her. No speech, no closure. Just silence. Because sometimes silence is louder than any scream. The next morning, sunlight spills through the blinds like it owns the place, too bright, too cheerful for a hospital room. But Noah's fever breaks. His eyes are clearer. His voice is stronger. Mommy, my head doesn't hurt anymore. And just like that, I can breathe again. But relief isn't enough. Relief is temporary. I need permanence. Over the next week, I work double shifts. I sleep in 2-hour bursts. I eat whatever stale leftovers the diner has lying around. I don't complain. I don't hesitate. I move with one thought anchoring me. Never beg from people who enjoy watching you suffer. Vanessa never reaches out again, not that she could, since I blocked her on everything. There's a dull ache where her presence used to be, but it fades faster than I expected. Pain turns into clarity. Clarity turns into focus. Marisol becomes something I never expected. Not a best friend. Not a replacement sister. Just consistent. Sometimes she drives me home after a shift without asking. Sometimes she brings Noah little dollar store toys because hospital kids deserve bribes. Sometimes she insults my cooking just to make me laugh. We don't talk about emotions, we don't hug. We don't have some teary montage. But she shows up. She shows up. And I start realizing that's worth more than any flowery apology. I pick up every extra shift I can get. Bussing tables, cleaning storage, covering for people who call in sick. I stack dollars. I open a savings account. I track every cent on a notepad. Every week, I cross out another debt. Every payday, I whisper. One step higher. There's a moment 3 months in that sticks with me. I'm scraping gum from under a booth after closing, sweat sticking my hair to my forehead, when Tony, my manager, forever grumpy, walks over. You know, he grumbles. You work like someone's chasing you. I glance up smirking. Someone is. He squints. Who? I press the gum scraper harder. Who I used to be. He doesn't smile, but he nods slow, respectful, then walks away. At night, when Noah's asleep, I sit by the window, watching city lights flicker. I don't cry anymore. I don't wish things were easier. I don't fantasize about rescue. I just plan. Apartment upgrade. Medical fund. Maybe night classes one day. The future doesn't feel like a locked door anymore. It feels like a long hallway. And I'm already walking. One evening at work, Marisol dumps a stack of plates beside me and says, completely casually, "You're not a victim anymore." I blink. What? She shrugs. You don't flinch when problems hit. You hit back. There's no dramatic music. No swelling pride. Just a quiet, steady warmth building in my chest. I don't thank her. I don't need to. She already knows. Weeks turn into months. I'm no longer surviving. I'm building. And somewhere in that transformation, I stop looking backward entirely. Until the past knocks on my door. Literally. It's a Sunday morning. Quiet, rare, golden. Noah is on the floor beside me, building a lopsided Lego tower, narrating some adventure about dragon policemen. He pauses every few seconds to ask if dragons can drive cars. I keep saying yes. I'd let dragons become real if it kept him smiling like that. I'm sipping cheap coffee from a chipped mug, the kind I used to resent owning. Now it just feels earned. Then, knock knock. Heavy. Confident. Someone who assumes they'll be welcomed. My spine stiffens instantly. No one knocks like that unless they believe they belong here. Noah looks up. You gonna get it? I force a smile. Stay here, baby. I stand slowly, every sense sharpening. The hallway feels longer than usual as I approach. I already know. Even before I open the door, I know I open it. And there she is, Vanessa. Perfect hair, perfect posture, perfect smirk restrained into polite concern. Like she's the lead actress stepping into the wrong set. She waits for me to gasp, or cry, or hug her without thinking. Instead, I don't move. Her smile flickers. Hey, Liv. Nobody's called me that in months. My name sounds foreign now in her mouth. I don't reply. She clears her throat, shifting into faux sincerity mode. I've been trying to reach you. I noticed, I say flatly. A tiny crack forms in her expression. She clasps her designer tote tighter. I just wanted to check on you. On Noah. I heard he was sick. I lean my shoulder against the doorframe. Calm. Unmoved. He's good now. Oh. She nods too quickly. That's good. Silence drapes between us, thick and suffocating. Once upon a time I would have filled it with nervous laughter. Apologies. Explanations. Now I let it sit. She shifts awkwardly. I was thinking, maybe we could talk. Maybe have dinner sometime? I feel like there were misunderstandings.
I raise an eyebrow. She stammers. You know how intense things got.
I didn't mean everything I said. I was stressed. Stressed. That's what she calls it. Not cruelty, not abandonment. Just stress. I don't argue. I don't correct her. I don't give her the gift of emotional engagement. I just say softly, steadily, no.
She blinks. No. To dinner? No to everything. Her lips part, stunned, like she's the one who's been betrayed.
Olivia, come on, don't be like that.
I'm not being like anything, I reply. I'm just done. She laughs, brittle, disbelieving. You're really going to throw away years of family over one bad conversation? I tilt my head. One? She freezes.
Her throat tightens, guilt flickering. Oh, there it is. She knows. She's just hoping I'll pretend. I step back, hand on the door.
You chose your moment. I'm choosing mine. Her voice sharpens. You can't stay angry forever. I'm not angry, I say, and I'm not. Not anymore. I'm free. I close the door gently. No slam. No theatrics. Just closure. Real echoed silence on the other side.
I stand there for a moment, palm still resting on the wood. No shaking, no tears.
Just peace. Mommy? Noah calls from behind me. Was it a dragon? I turn, smiling. No, baby, I say, crossing the room to sit with him again. Just someone who doesn't live here anymore. He accepts that without question. Kids understand boundaries better than adults. I pick up a Lego block and add it to his tower. It leans, a little crooked, but standing strong. Just like us. 3 years pass, not with fireworks. Not with dramatic turning points, but with slow mornings and steady choices. I never became rich. I never became famous, but I became solid. Noah is 5 now. Taller, louder, braver. He still climbs into my bed at 6 a.m. sharp, insisting that I'm a bear and he's here to tame me. I let him win every time. My apartment is slightly bigger now. Sunlight actually reaches the kitchen. I've got real plates instead of mismatched thrift store ones. My couch isn't secondhand anymore. Bought it brand new, with cash I earned doing double shifts that I chose, not out of desperation, but ambition. I got promoted. Not because someone took pity on the struggling single mother, but because I ran circles around everyone else. My boss, Marcus, the same man who once picked fights with me over coffee orders, now trusts me to train new staff. We're not best friends, but we're real allies. Funny how life works. Sometimes I still wake up with the echo of that night, my sister's voice, those words that nearly broke me. Maybe you shouldn't have had a kid if you couldn't afford one.
But the pain no longer feels sharp. It's just a reminder that I survived.
That I rebuilt. That I no longer measure my worth by what others think I deserve. Vanessa tried again. Once through text. Once through Mom. Once through a birthday card for Noah.
Each time I responded the same way. Polite. Distant. Unreachable. Not out of hatred.
Out of balance. Because forgiveness doesn't mean returning to the cage. Last week, I ran into her at a grocery store. She saw me first. She waved. I raised a hand, not quite a wave, not quite refusal. Our eyes met, and I could see it. She was waiting for me to come over. Waiting for me to do what I always did. Bridge the gap, lighten the mood, make it easy for her. But I didn't move. I gave her the softest smile. Then I turned and kept walking. No guilt, no tears. Just clarity. Tonight I tuck Noah into bed, kiss his forehead, turn off the lights. He mumbles sleepily. Mommy, are we okay? I whisper. We're better than okay. Why? Because we never gave up. He smiles in the dark. Can we have pancakes tomorrow? Absolutely.
I walk to the balcony. Tiny, rusted railing, potted plants barely hanging on. But it's mine. The city hums below. Traffic, laughter, the distant rumble of trains. Life, still messy, still loud, but no longer against me. Now I walk in rhythm with it. I lean on the railing, breathing in the warm night air. For a moment, I close my eyes. And I think, this is it. Not revenge, not applause. Just peace. Earned, not given. People often talk about winning like it's some loud, shining moment. But sometimes, winning is quiet. Winning is walking away. Winning is never needing them again. I open my eyes. And I smile to no one at all. Because I am free.